Mary Nickel is on the line with us, the Arctic Campaign Specialist with Greenpeace USA. Greenpeace.org is the website. Mary, welcome to the program.
Thanks, Thom. Thanks for having me.
This week, the Obama administration has authorized the Dutch oil company, Shell Oil, to drill in the American part of the Arctic. What are the details of this?
Yeah, absolutely. So unfortunately, President Obama isn't living up to his legacy of being the climate hero that he promised to be when he first became president. And so he has given so far the green light to Shell to drill in the Chukchi Sea. And so there's two things that we're up to right now. We're working and hoping that, the Obama administration, there still are a few more steps. So we're hoping that they'll eventually come to their senses and see that they can't allow Arctic drilling and claim to, be working to reduce America's contributions to climate change. But as well as there's a local process happening here in Seattle where we're working to try and get the Port of Seattle to rescind the lease that they've signed with Shell to host their drilling rigs here in town.
So, excuse me. So the Port of Seattle is a choke point for this whole process, essentially?
That's right. So in January it became public that the Port of Seattle for months had been having behind closed-door meetings with companies and contractors to sign a lease to host Shell's drilling rigs here in town. And if you know anything about Seattle, that didn't sit well with people. So
it's a fairly progressive town.
Yes, yep. Very progressive, very environmental town. And so just recently, the mayor gave the port a great opportunity to rescind the lease by saying that, the use for the Terminal 5 here in Seattle is a different use than the environmental permit. And so right now there's an interesting battle happening where yesterday, for example, we had a 5-hour Port Commission hearing in town. There were 3 hours of very passionate public comment and then 2 hours of negotiations amongst the port. And what happened coming out of that meeting is that the port essentially has asked one of the companies working with Shell to not allow the rigs to come to town until they're able to, get the right permitting and have a, further review. But as well as, we're hoping that the port really takes the opportunity to be a climate champion and rescinds the lease for good.
Wow. So the Port of Seattle has the potential to stop, basically, Shell. They don't have any other options for places to put their oil rigging, stage their drilling out of?
Yeah, so it's day by day we're getting more updates. Shell has said that they have plan Bs, but as far as we know, the plan A is definitely to come to Seattle and to host their rigs here.
Right.
And what we're working to do is try and make that as difficult as possible because we know drilling for oil up in the Arctic, there's such a small window that the ice is actually melted.
Right.
And it's kind of wild to think that Shell's trying to get to these areas that previously we weren't able to get to, and they're finally able to do that because of climate change. But there's such a small window that any delays will be helpful in trying to stop this thing from happening.
Yeah, remarkable. What can the citizens, what can people who live in Seattle or who don't, who agree with your position or arguably disagree, I suppose, either, what can they do? How is this subject to citizen input? Is there, or is the process just, you all working with the port and that kind of thing?
Absolutely, great question. So the citizens here in Seattle just have amazing networks, and they've been fighting dirty fossil fuel infrastructure here for a long time, been fighting oil trains and coal exports. And all of those groups are really working really well together and activating around this issue. So actually this coming Saturday, there is going to be a family-friendly kayak protest happening starting at 10 a.m. at Seacrest Park in town, and folks can come out to that. And if people aren't don't want to be on the water, there's also some on-land programming that will be starting at 1 o'clock in the area as well.
Right.
And then for people who want to help, right now the most important place to be putting pressure is on the Port of Seattle, because they have been given a great opportunity by the mayor of Seattle to hit pause and rethink their position and rethink what they've done here. And so if you head to our website, greenpeace.org, you can find out more information about some online petitions and actions that you can take to contact the Port of Seattle directly.
Great stuff. Mary Nickel with the greenpeace.org. She's the Arctic Campaign Specialist. Mary, thanks for dropping by today.
Thanks, Tom.
Great talking with you.